안녕하세요. 성경으로 영어 발음 교정하는 성경 발음입니다. 한 단어 한 단어 소리내어 따라 하시면 발음이 교정되며 영어 실력 향상에 도움이 됩니다. 오늘은 창세기 3장을 같이 읽어보도록 하겠습니다. The serpent, 스가 아니라 소리입니다. Serpent was the shrewdest of all. 여기서는 all 글자가 없기 때문에 발음을 굴리시면 안 됩니다. all the wild animals the Lord God had made. The serpent was the shrewdest of all the wild animals the Lord God had made. One day he asked the woman. One day he asked the woman. 여기서는 아주 살짝 디귿 발음으로 asked. One day he asked the woman. 여기 보시면 디귿 발음으로 끝나고 디귿 발음으로 시작하기 때문에 이어주시면 돼요. One day he asked the woman. 이렇게 asked the woman. Asked the woman. Did God really say? Did God really say? You must not eat the fruit from any of the trees. 이거 전 비디오에서 제가 말씀드렸다시피 T랑 R이랑 붙어 있으면 트가 아니라 추 발음입니다. 추. Trees in the garden. 이 D는 무음인데 무음으로 발음하시기 어려우시면 살짝 디귿 발음 넣으셔서 말씀하셔도 돼요. garden 아니면 garden 아니면 garden. Did God really say you must not eat the fruit from any of the trees in the garden? Did God really say you must not eat the fruit from any of the trees in the garden? Of course, we may eat. Of course, we may eat fruit from the trees in the garden. The woman replied. Of course, we may eat fruit from the trees in the garden. The woman replied. Of course, we may eat fruit from the trees in the garden. The woman replied. 자, it's only the fruit. It's only the fruit from the tree in the middle of the garden that we are not allowed to eat. It's only the fruit from the tree in the middle of the garden that we are not allowed to eat. God said, you must not eat it, or even touch it if you do, you will die. will 알파벳 글자 R이 없기 때문에 여기서는 굴리지 마시고 will, will, will. God said you must not eat it or even touch it. If you do, you will die. God said you must not eat it or even touch it. If you do, you will die. 4절 You won't die. The serpent replied. The serpent replied to the woman. You won't die, the serpent replied to the woman. God knows that. God knows that your eyes will be opened as soon as you eat it, and you will be like God, knowing both good and evil. Knowing both good and evil. evil이라 여긴 알파벳 R 글자가 여기도 없기 때문에 발음을 굴리시면 안 됩니다. evil, evil, evil. God knows that your eyes will be opened as soon as you eat it, and you will be like God, knowing both good and evil. 여기서 as 발음으로 끝나죠? 다음에 다음 단어는 soon인데 또 S 발음으로 시작을 하기 때문에 여기서 그냥 이어주시면 돼요. as soon, as soon, as soon. 자, God knows that your eyes will be opened as soon as. as soon as. 자, 6절. The woman was convinced. Convinced. The woman was convinced. She saw that the tree 여기는 T랑 R이기 때문에 추 발음이죠. 추 트가 아니라 추 tree was beautiful 여기도 R 글자가 없기 때문에 굴리지 마시고 혀 굴리지 마시고 beautiful and its fruit looked delicious and she wanted the wisdom it would give her. she saw that the tree was beautiful and its fruit looked delicious, and she wanted the wisdom it would give her. So she took some of the fruit. So she took some of the fruit and ate it. So she took some of the fruit and ate it. Then she gave some to her husband. 여기서 이거 D로 끝나는 단어가 굉장히 많아요. 그쵸? 이 D로 끝나는 단어는 드 발음으로 끝내시면 안 되고 항상 아주 살짝 디귿 발음으로 마무리해 주시면 됩니다. husband who was with her and he ate it too. Then she gave some to her husband who was with her and he ate it too. Then she gave some to her husband who was with her and he ate it too. 7절. At that moment their eyes were opened and they suddenly 이 단어는 빨리 읽을 때는 이 D 발음이 살짝 무음이에요. suddenly felt shame. 근데 저기 디귿 발음 살짝 넣으셔도 됩니다. 무음으로 하셔도 괜찮고 이게 어려우시면은 디귿 발음 살짝 넣으셔서 suddenly 하셔도 돼요. felt shame at their nakedness. 다시 nakedness. At that moment, their eyes were opened and they suddenly felt shame at their nakedness. 자, 빨리 읽으면 At that moment, their eyes were opened and they suddenly felt shame at their nakedness. So they sewed. 여기는 이가 있어도 오 발음에 더 가까워요. Sewed fig leaves together to cover. 여기는 알파벳 글자 R이 있기 때문에 cover가 아니라 cover. 여기는 확실하게 발음을 올려주셔야 됩니다. cover themselves. So they sewed fig leaves together to cover themselves. 자, 8절. When the cool 자, 여기도 알파벳 단어 R이 없기 때문에, R 글자가 없기 때문에 여기서 굴리시면 안 되죠? Cool, cool. When the cool evening breezes, evening breezes were blowing the man and his wife heard the Lord God walking about in the garden. 아니면 garden. 네, 저는 개인적으로 garden보다 garden이 말하기 더 편하기 때문에 저는 항상 garden이라고 하는데 이러한 그 디귿 발음을 아주 살짝 넣어서 말씀하셔도 괜찮습니다. garden. When the cool evening breezes were blowing, the man and his wife heard the Lord God walking about in the garden. So they hid from the Lord God among the trees. So they hid from the Lord God among the trees. So they hid from the Lord God among the trees. Then the Lord God called 콜이 아니라 called. 여기도 굴리면 안 되죠? R이 없기 때문에. To the man, where are you? Where are you? Then the Lord God called to the man, where are you? 10절. He replied. He replied, I heard you walking in the garden, so I hid. He replied, I heard you walking in the garden, so I hid. I was afraid because가 아니라 because I was naked. He replied, I heard you walking in the garden, so I hid. I was afraid because I was naked. 11절. Who told, 여기도 굴리시면 안 돼요. 발음 굴리시면 안 돼요. told. 기본적으로 R 글자가 없으면 그냥 안 굴리시면 됩니다. 발음을. Who told you that you were naked? Who told you that you were naked? Who told you that you were naked? The Lord God asked. Who told you that you were naked? The Lord God asked. Have you eaten from the tree whose fruit I commanded you not to eat? Have you eaten from the tree whose fruit I commanded you not to eat? Have you eaten from the tree whose fruit I commanded you not to eat? 12절. The man replied. The man replied. It was the woman you gave me, who gave me the fruit, and I ate it. The man replied, It was the woman you gave me who gave me the fruit, and I ate it. Ate it. 여기서 이거를 ate 한 단어만 읽으면 ate인데 여기 it랑 붙었기 때문에 빨리 읽으면 ate it 이렇게 돼요. And I ate it. Ate it. Ate it. 13절. Then the Lord God asked the woman. 여기도 마찬가지로 디귿 발음으로 끝나고 디귿 발음으로 시작하기 때문에 원래 속도로 읽으면 asked the 이렇게 됩니다. Then the Lord God asked the woman, What have you done? Then the Lord God asked the woman, What have you done? The serpent deceived me. Deceived me. Deceived. Deceived me. The serpent deceived me. She replied, That's why I ate it. Ate it. The serpent deceived me, she replied. That's why I ate it. Then the Lord God said to the serpent, Then the Lord God said to the serpent, Because you have done this, you are cursed, cursed more than all animals, domestic, and wild, wild가 아닙니다. wild. 여기도 마찬가지로 R 글자가 없기 때문에 발음을 굴리시면 안 됩니다. Because you have done this, you are cursed more than all animals, domestic and wild. You will crawl on your belly. You will crawl on your belly. You will crawl on your belly. Groveling in the dust as long as you live. groveling, groveling. 여기 O가 있는데 U라고 생각하시면 됩니다. 이 단어는 groveling, groveling in the dust as long as you live. 15절 And I will cause hostility between you and the woman and between your offspring and her offspring. And I will cause hostility between you and the woman, and between your offspring and her offspring. He will strike your head, and you will strike his heel. He will strike your head, and you will strike his heel. 16절 Then he said to the woman, I will sharpen the pain of your pregnancy, and in pain you will give birth. I will sharpen the pain of your pregnancy, and in pain you will give birth. And you will desire to control 여기서는 T랑 R이랑 추 발음이죠. T랑 R이랑 붙었을 때 control. 근데 마무리하실 때 한국말로 이 단어를 쓸 때 컨트롤이라고 하는데 끝부분에서는 굴리시면 안 돼요. 발음을 굴리시면 안 됩니다. control your husband, but he will rule over you. And you will desire to control your husband, but he will rule over you. And to the man he said, Since you listened to your wife and ate from the tree whose fruit I commanded you not to eat. 여기서 NOT는 요것만 읽으면 not 이건데 다음 단어가 T자로 시작하기 때문에 그냥 이어주시면 돼요. not to. not to. The ground is cursed because of you. Since you listened to your wife and ate from the tree whose fruit I commanded you not to eat, the ground is cursed because of you. All your life. All your life. all. 여기서 굴리시면 안 돼요, 발음. all your life. You will struggle to scratch a living from it. All your life, you will struggle to scratch a living from it. It will grow thorns, and thistles. 이 th는 이빨과 혀 사이로 나오는 그 바람 소리. thistles, thorns, thistles, thorns, thorns and thistles for you, though 이 the와 이 단어 보시면은 though라고 발음을 제가 했는데요. 이게 원래는 정확히 발음하자면 though입니다. though. 그리고 th도 마찬가지로 여기 보시면 더라고 제가 발음을 하는데 이게 그 일반적인 속도로 얘기를 하면은 the라고 하는 거랑 더라고 하는 거랑 그게 구분이 안 돼요. 빨리 말하기 때문에. 근데 이제 한국 분들이 이 단어를 말씀하실 때는 the 살짝 바람 소리 내서 the 하는 것보다 더가 더 쉽기 때문에 제가 그렇게 가르쳐 드리는 겁니다. 근데 이제 원래 속도로 이제 말하거나 이제 읽으실 때는 그냥 더라고 해도 완벽한 발음으로 그렇게 들립니다. 그렇기 때문에 요거랑 요거는 그냥 though 아니면 the라고 이렇게 말씀하시면 됩니다. Though you will eat of its grains, it will grow thorns. 근데 여기서는 그 바람 소리로 시작을 해주셔야 돼요. 이 단어는 thorns and thistles. 여기도 마찬가지로 it will grow thorns and thistles for you, though you will eat of its grains. By the sweat of your brow will you have food to eat until 여기도 굴리면 안 되죠? R 글자가 없기 때문에 until이 아니라 until you return to the ground from which you were made. By the sweat of your brow will you have food to eat until you return to the ground from which you were made. For you were made from dust, and to dust you will return. Return, for you were made from dust, and to dust you will return. 20절. Then the man Adam named his wife Eve because she would be the mother of all who live. Mother of all who live. Then the man Adam named his wife Eve because she would be the mother of all who live. 21절. And the Lord God made clothing from animal이 아닙니다. animal. 여기서 굴리시면 안 돼요, 발음. animal skins for Adam and his wife. wife가 아닙니다. wife. 바람 소리로 여기를 마무리해 주셔야 돼요. wife. And the Lord God made clothing from animal skins for Adam and his wife. wife. 22절. Then the Lord God said, Look, the human beings have become like us, knowing both good and evil. 여기도 발음을 굴리시면 안 됩니다. R 글자가 없기 때문에 evil. Then the Lord God said, Look, the human beings have become like us, knowing both good and evil. What if they reach out? What if they reach out, take fruit from the tree? to가 절대 아닙니다. tree, 추 발음, tree of life, and eat it. 요것도 빨리 읽으면 eat, 요것만 읽으면 eat, 요것만 읽으면 it 던데 빨리 읽으면 eat it 이렇게 됩니다. eat it. What if they reach out, take fruit from the tree of life and eat it? Then they will 이 단어가 굉장히 많이 사용되는데요. 이 단어는 will이 아니라 will라고 발음합니다. will live live forever. forever이 아닙니다. forever가 아니에요. forever가 아니라 forever. forever. 이빨과 아랫입술 사이로 나오는 바람 소리. forever. forever. What if they reach out, take fruit from the tree of life and eat it? Then they will live forever. 자, 23절. So the Lord God banished them from the garden of Eden, and he sent Adam out to. 여기도 원래 속도를 읽으면 out to 이렇게 이어주시면 돼요. 따로따로 읽으면 out to 이렇게 되는데 여기 평상시 속도로 읽으시면 out to 이렇게 됩니다. cultivate 컬이 아니에요. cultivate가 아니라 cultivate R 글자가 없죠. R 글자가 없을 때는 발음을 굴리시면 안 됩니다. The ground from which he had been made. So the Lord God banished them. 여기도 디귿 발음으로 끝나고 디귿 발음으로 시작하기 때문에 이어주시면 돼요. banished them. 따로따로 읽으시면 banished them. 네, 이어서 읽으시면 banished them. So the Lord God banished them from the Garden of Eden, and he sent Adam out to cultivate the ground from which he had been made. 24절. After sending them out. after의 F터가 아닙니다. after sending them out, the Lord God stationed mighty cherubim to the east of the Garden of Eden. 원래는 Garden of Eden 이렇게 말씀하셔야 되는데 그 발음이 어려우시면 Garden of Eden 이렇게 하셔도 괜찮습니다. And he placed a flaming sword. 여기서는 확실하게 발음을 굴려주셔야 됩니다. sword that flashed back and forth to guard the way to the tree. of life. After sending them out, the Lord God stationed mighty cherubim to the east of the Garden of Eden, and he placed a flaming sword. 죄송합니다. 여기 A라고 불렀는데 사실 이 A는 대부분 사람들이 어라고 불러요. 어라고 더 자주 많이 써요. 근데 A라고 하는 경우도 있는데 A로 한다고 해서 그게 틀린 거는 아닙니다. 네, 대부분 사람들이 어라고 더 많이 단어를 쓰기 때문에 이거를 읽기 때문에 어라고 하셔도 되고 A라고 하셔도 되는데 저는 개인적으로 추천드리는 거는 어라고 사용하시는 게 좋을 것 같습니다. And he placed a flaming sword that flashed back and forth to guard the way to the tree of life. 많은 도움이 되셨기를 바랍니다. 감사합니다.